Roll call, please.
Kenny Geeser,
Here.
Marks,
Here.
Richard,
Here.
King,
Here.
Seaver,
Here.
Graves,
Here.
Shelby.
Here.
Item number 2, petitions from the audience. Seeing none. Regular meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Motion been made,
Second.
seconded. All discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding approval of the 2021 Park Cemetery Board meeting schedule, which is in your packet.
Is all the dates that they put in there, is that our normal ones,
Yes.
besides the 27th, that's Christmas?
Yeah, that was the only one I
That
had
was-
a question
Yeah,
about.
Pat had a question about that date.
You know, if we want to move it to the Monday before, or,
Most time we just don't have a meeting.
yeah,
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
but you never know.
Can we move that one?
Absolutely. If y'all want to move it to a different date, or if y'all want to just leave it like this, and then we can always cancel the regular meeting and have a special meeting on a different date if you want.
Right.
However y'all want to do that.
Yeah, move it to that following Monday, Bill?
Or the Monday before, whichever one you,
Before, we've just either not had a meeting that month or we've scheduled a
Right.
different day.
yeah.
That's the way we've always done it in the past.
And keep it and just move it if we need to?
Yeah.
I'd entertain a motion to accept.
Make the motion to accept the dates.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion?
Bill, I noticed they've left out compensation again this year.
Do what?
They've left out the compensation part in this meeting. Attending these meetings. Is that gonna forego it again this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
More discussion.
Good discussion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Park report, Frank Powell. The Honorable Frank Powell. Grandpa Frank.
Esquire?
Sure go see him again this weekend.
Imagine that.
Not really a whole lot, just, we've been busy, just doing a lot of maintenance. To the one employee at the park is still off, and, but we have a temporary on help cover for him. And had another cemetery guy have surgery, he's gonna be off for 2 or 3 months, but this time we jumped on it pretty quick and got another temp, so that way at least I won't be short-handed like I was back in the summer. But other than that, things are moving along actually pretty good, just getting a lot of little stuff done. Other than that, on the parks, everything's just moving along. Other than that, waiting for I was hoping that had it Monday. The engineer and I have been discussing the bathroom design and everything, and we've kind of done our own design, and I gave him the list of the amenities I'd like to see in or on the building. And there's a chance he was gonna have it drawn up and to me by Friday, and I guess that didn't happen. So other than that, I'm just kind of waiting on that, and then I'll probably come forward to you all and go forward with the bids. And then basically, the design of it's gonna be a lot like Centennial, kind of matched, and he said, go ahead and put in what I want, and if it comes back high, then we'll tweak down from there. So I'm putting in a lot of the modern, like heavy-duty magnetic doors and timers where like maybe I can set them the clock, like lock at 9 o'clock, and they just self-lock. some of these lights that come on and off. I did want well lit on the exterior, you know, vandal lights, and then hopefully that'll deter, you know, vandalism, but stuff like that. I did still want porcelain, not the stainless. Stainless, they're harder to clean. But other than that, it's just your modern stuff. So as soon as he gets to me on that, then, you know, whether we have to have another meeting, that way we can go ahead and get it underway. But plus, I won't do anything until we get your all's design approval and stuff. But other than that, just staying busy.
Just a quick question, Frank, you were gonna look into purchasing guides for the mowers? You planning to do that, or?
Oh, for the cemetery?
Yes,
We did.
okay.
One of the mowers doesn't have one. We gotta design our own. Just, I don't know what it was about that mower, that particular deck, but you can't get one, so we just gotta custom build one. But, the other mowers, we put them on, and, it's basically set up kind of like the park mowers, how we got those set up. And then I am fixing to go out for a new gator for the cemetery. I'm just gonna go through state contract.
Is there quite a bit of burials going on in the cemetery? It seems like they are now. That's picked up some again.
Yeah, in fact, they had several this week, had one Saturday.
I saw that Saturday.
Got one already for next Saturday already, a week ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I said, one of my guys went down, well, I say went down, we knew it was gonna happen. We had surgery Thursday, and then bam, they get hit with 2 or 3 funerals right off the bat. But it's just, that's the way it goes, kind of spurts,
Kind of typical for this time of year too, though.
yeah.
Frank, on those bathrooms, what's the plan? Is the plan to put the new bathroom where the existing one is, or are you gonna tear down the existing one and build a new one?
Yeah, we've discussed that. I say we, the engineer and I, and that'll be part of the bid deal that, you know, they'll have to tear down the old one and structure, all that electrical stuff. You know, they'll have to do whatever they need to do to it while they construct the new one. But we just talked, it made sense, all the water, the plumbing, you know, everything's already right there, and it's central located.
Do you know about how long, have you got a sense, is that, we talking about being without a bathroom for weeks, months, or?
I
Don't know.
Don't know on that
Okay.
yet. In worst case scenario, you know, bring in porta potties, I guess, maybe. That hasn't really been discussed yet.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I was just thinking that might be something to think about the strategy. I don't know how big a deal it is to have bathrooms available or not have them available.
Kind of depends when it gets started, probably, you know, if we just kind of,
We can
What
get
time
some,
of year?
just get some porta potties out there.
I mean, that's what we used to do anyway, a long time ago, when we'd shut them down in October to March, just put porta potties out there. A lot of it kind of depends,
Okay.
you know, yeah, but that's probably what we'll just end up doing. It's actually kind of nice, because when you bring those in, you know, we're out, you don't have to worry about doing anything to them, kind of a break.
You just got to worry, are they still upright in the morning when you get there?
Last time we had to chain them to the volleyball field.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
So-
imagine.
Have we talked any more about restrooms at Bobby Buck?
Hadn't come up anymore. That'd be something we'll have to budget for, if y'all wanna still go that route. And then after we do these, I'll give you an idea of how much, you know, we're looking at.
How much was the restroom at Centennial? You don't
We
remember?
didn't pay for that one. I've tried to get with Williams, to get an idea, and they couldn't come up with anything either. So I was never actually, I never got any paperwork on it. That was one of the deals we was talking about the engineer, and I never got anything. No kind of design. I just remember I wasn't happy with the beginning, because there was some stuff that went on there that I didn't like, and they said, well, you get it however we want it, because it's free. So after that, okay. But, yeah, that center storage room, you can't even hardly move around in it, the way they designed it with the plumbing and stuff. That was one big thing I wanted to change with this new one. But, yes, We went off of one, engineer did get with me. They just built one in Broken Arrow, part of a big complex. And he sent me those designs, which was a lot like Centennial, but he kinda had the price deal, and he's breaking it down, cause that one included a whole new thing, and French drains and and we already have all that in place. So, that one over there was part of a whole big project, and, it came in at about 200,000. They had to do a whole bunch of stuff that we don't have to do. So that's why we're hoping that this one will come a lot cheaper. But if we do,
Is there any plumbing at Bobby Buck at all?
yeah.
Should
And
be.
so we will almost need to do that before I build this, well, with the volleyball, if we end up doing the shelter, originally I was gonna put the shelter about where that old bathroom used to be. If we decide to put bathrooms there, then I may not, because that's where the plumbing was. So, before I do a shelter, I probably will come back to you all to make sure location, because if we're gonna go a bathroom route, it would almost make sense to kind of put it back about where the old one was.
Hey Frank, a question on the pool. Based on what you know now, what's the plan for the pool next summer?
We put it in the budget like it would still open.
Okay,
Other than that, I guess the plan is, it will be open just after, my thing is after it's set for 2 years, if we're gonna have issues, but right now, as far as I know of, the plan is to open it.
okay. Do you know does there need to be any lead work done, or is it just gonna be a normal opening, or do you have a sense that we need to go through and step through the process we're gonna go through to open that thing back up?
Well, as far as I know, it still shouldn't be any different than any others, and it's kinda like every year when they ask me, well, I don't know until I turn the pump on.
Yeah,
And can't turn the pump on unless there's water in it, so a lot of it, I'm just gonna go through, we'll probably do a earlier inspection and see if there's other things that need to be done a little more earlier. Some of that's gonna go back to another line item on here, but, yeah, we done talked about that, instead of waiting until April or whatever, when we usually get started, that we might, we've kinda walked over there, and right now, the water, we left the water on up in the shower area, because we had it on when it decided to shut down, so we left it on. Just fares better on it than other than that, everything still looks the same as it did. And I'm assuming it's gonna be kinda like, before all this hit, you all had told me to do the bare minimum, because there's talk of the new pool, so I'm assuming that is still gonna be, what we'll do, just enough to make sure it's operable and safety, stuff like that. But as for cosmetics and painting, I didn't still budget any more, that kind of route.
well, maybe we need to put that on the agenda about what the recommended approach is. Should we go into this saying we're planning on as of right now, we're planning on opening the pool like we have in the past? And, I don't know, I can't remember, we had somebody come in and inspect that pool and made some recommendations and some different comments, and I don't know if we're being held to any of those?
No,
Okay.
we haven't paid him any money to go further. The next thing.
But
we
we're
have
not
to do-
under any requirements to follow those recommendations?
No, I can
Okay,
tell you, like, talking with the mayor and going off there at the end when we shut it down, I think the plan was back in March or April, though, before this hit, we was gonna open it this year with intentions to shut it down next year to start kinda going forward with the new pool.
Because it was gonna go.
So
where
this
the
kinda
pool
threw
is.
that out of whack, so I guess unless y'all decide.
We didn't open because we didn't have any lifeguards.
Yeah, and that still might come up too again this year.
Yeah.
And, so that was the original plan, is gonna open this year, not next year. So now, but we put it still back in the budget to open for next year.
And he never got us a drawing of, our conceptual drawing.
Just a temporary one. I mean, I've got one. I even got a big one. And it was on, the plan was to supposedly put it back where this one is, except going east and west. It would go north and south along Kauai. And it was kind of a T shape. It's pretty cool. And big velocity slide, spiral slide, zero entry, had a little splash pad feature. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's about half the size of what the rec center pool is now to our outdoor pool.
Well, I guess to boil this down then, and maybe this is something we need to have, Chairman, on the agenda, but it seems to me that my preference, personal preference would be, is that we move forward and do what we need to do to be able to open that pool this summer until somebody steps up and says, nope, we're not gonna do that. So that we take it,
Well,
we don't get in a position of,
I mean, that's my thing right now, is that we budgeted for it, and so until you all tell me it's not gonna open, I'm assuming it's gonna open.
is that kind of where we're at? We're gonna march forward with it, we're gonna open it up until we hear otherwise.
Well, you know, depending on what this pandemic does, yeah.
Yeah,
The plan is to open it next spring, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
And still move forward with the new pool.
So, other than that, that's where we're at. And want to get anything more specific on the restrooms, like I said, if it's way before the next meeting, then I'll probably call a special meeting.
Okay.
That way we can get it going.
Yeah.
So I missed the meeting on the Bobby Buck toy. Did the mayor come up with a plan for Bobby Buck? Is there,
It's on the agenda tonight to buy one.
well, okay, but,
We fear if we keep doing this, we're never gonna get one. It's been going on for several years. I just wanted to buy a little toy to begin
Right.
with. And
okay, but before we get down there, is there a plan yet? Because I thought the mayor was gonna look and make a recommendation about there's no theme, there's no,
I don't know anything about a plan. I mean,
do you remember him talking about the one when we didn't follow through with what the school was looking at?
yeah.
well, part of
And
it,
he was
Yeah,
talking
but
about it
nothing's
was
ever
the
been done
water.
about
Yeah, it's
that
been
one.
over
Whoever
a
that
year.
group was, has never
it's
done
been
anything
over
else.
a year. We never
Sure
heard
is.
back from any of those. So I just went ahead and budgeted, well, I came to you all.
Right, right,
I
no, okay.
budgeted another, 30,000 for another toy. And I got with the rep and found out just like tractors and stuff, there's state contract with them. So I just went with a particular.
No, I think that's good. I'm just wondering what happened to the mayor's plan.
He's been real null about it and said he just never heard anything else about it. It really wasn't his plan.
He was
Whoever
just
that other
hoping
group
it
was,
would.
and they went to council, they never had come here.
Yeah,
Right.
we've talked. I mean, nothing's ever.
And nothing's ever been brought up about that again.
Yeah, that-
Well, I think what Lori's, if I remember, and a good chance I don't, that, I think it was you that was working with some outside party to make some improvements to that park. And they were ready to move on it. They
Right.
were moving forward, and all of a sudden, somebody else came
There
in,
was more than one.
put together over here in the corner one day, and then we kinda said, okay, that group was told,
And that
don't
was-
move forward, this group's gonna take over.
And that was that was the one and only time. Never heard any more from, and so the way I look at it, just
We'll just move
do this,
forward with
yeah.
what, Yeah.
move forward
And
ourselves and.
When I asked the
Always
mayor,
had
he just,
to,
they just
Is
act
it
like
too late to
nothing.
get this other group back involved, or?
yes, because they made the donation to the splash pad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we use that money elsewhere. And then I
If
never
we
wrote the other
Do
grant.
this one, something could still be added or
Still
done
can be.
later.
Okay,
you know,
good.
Still, but I'm kind of looking at it like, it's been going on for.
Long time,
Yeah.
long time.
Well, and I think this is a good lesson learned for us, is
Mhm.
on some of these initiatives that we've got some momentum behind, that we ought to go ahead, that's the reason I'm bringing up about the pools, move some of these things forward until such time that somebody stands up and says, stop, or you don't have funding, or whatever. But it seems like we're getting in a lot of situations where one hand's doing this, another hand's doing this, and we're
There
kind
was
of.
a grant that we found that we thought I was gonna be able to apply for. It ended up, we weren't qualified. When I say we, it was like under 7,500 population or something.
Thank you, that answered my question.
Anything else for Frank?
We're gonna
Thank
do
you,
the toy
Frank.
now?
Do I?
We doing a toy now?
It's under number 7.
And that's up to you all. Go ahead and do it, or?
I make a motion, we move into item 7. No.
Okay, some of them got the look. These,
I can see one from here.
but the rep, so I got with her, and being a state contract, and I told her our budget, so instead of going through a catalog, and trying to know, she just put together like 6 options, and there's been a few of them up here that's got together, and I think we've narrowed it down to probably 2. It's the first 2 options.
Mhm. I
That's
think.
what we're looking at. Now, if you do look at it, there's a,
You can unclip those, they're just, the first 2 options, I just,
yeah, you
That
know,
one?
paper clip.
you paper clip, just take them off.
There's a price thing in there for each one of them, and it's everything, timbers, mulch, chipping, ready to go. But she also included, installation, so you can deduct installation from the total price, but we'll install it. Installation is about $8,000 for each one of them. You know, we've put in more than one, so we can do it. So,
My only question to you, Frank, is after looking at that and having 2 or 3 people look at it, one thing that's come up every single time is putting a fence around it,
the actual,
the actual toy. Whatever the layout is, to put some type of fence around it. Because they said with that type of toy, kids can get away. Parents are busy watching one, and the other one needed something, they could get away. And they say that's the greatest fear they have over at our main park. There's no way of keeping track of kids whenever there's multiple things going on.
well, I didn't budget for a fence. I mean, it's something we can look at doing later.
Right, that's what I'm saying, if we're saving that much in labor,
You're probably gonna be talking at least 10 to 20,000 for nice fence. Cause that fence at the cemetery, you know, just down the whole east strip was $20,000.
they were and what they were telling me was like the wrought iron,
Like the
Style.
schools are doing now.
like what the schools are doing, that's what they were talking about. Just for safety, they said, because, you know, they turn a child loose, he gets in there, that,
I go to a lot of parks, I don't ever see any fences around the toys.
go to Claremore. They named off the cities that have it, and they said it's becoming more people are doing it.
I know a lot of them do,
Claremore.
but they actually have an attendant even, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but,
We go to 2 in Owasso that are huge and they don't have anything.
that's up to you all. Like I said, we didn't budget for a fence, so it probably wouldn't happen now, maybe next year if y'all wanted
Yeah.
one or something. But
That just a comment that several said was because of so much activity going on at one time, and
I think the option 1 and option 2 are the top choices. So I'm just leaving it up to you all. And they don't have to be that color. We can still, unless you all tell me, I'll pick different colors. But,
Yeah, there's,
that's what,
color options are unbelievable. It's just mind-boggling to look at the color.
and this wasn't, this is kind of separate. The tic-tac-toe thing at Whitaker Park, it's been there forever, we had to take it out. So I've been wanting to replace something small, kind of put back where it was, or we could incorporate this with that toy. It's called Selfie Swizzler,
So what?
and it's just something you spin around, but I guess there's a thing in there you can put your phone and take selfies.
Oh, this?
Did she,
Well, I saw this one. This was the little selfie merry-go-round.
oh, is that, okay, this is what she quoted me. That one,
That one.
yeah.
What's your question?
Well, I'm just gonna explain to them
Oh.
that if, depending which one we choose, there's enough money.
To do this?
Yeah, the quote on that one. Is 2303. Like I said, I had budgeted 30,000 in the,
Is there much to put it in?
Is the 23, is that,
it's just like, you sit in and spin it, but there's a thing for, you know,
here, you wanna pass that?
It used to cost you about
Yeah,
2
what you're
tickets
talking
at the
about.
carnival. Had that little bill in the center that you'd spin. That's,
I just thought for them to look at it, they want to see it.
Well, I think the first two are the best ones in my opinion. I had several people look and
the Bradbury, the first one, right off the bat, was my top choice, but actually I have no problem with the.
Wild Rivers.
Yeah,
It had a little more crawling stuff on it, that's why I liked it.
and sometimes you can look at them and go, well, but sometimes it's just the colors they have, you know, like there's one at the back that's me, it's not bad, it's the colors they have on it. But, anyway, that's,
Oh, the
So
purple.
what was the age for these? Was this, did it have a target age? I know, I didn't look.
most of them, like say 2 to 5, and or 5 to 12.
Okay.
I know this one was, I think it's frozen.
The first one is 2 to 5 and 5 to 12. I think both of them were, yeah.
Is that umbrella gonna be problems on that second one? Fade?
What?
The umbrella, is that an actual fabric umbrella?
If
That would
it is
fade.
in the winter months, we'd probably take it down. The one reason I wanted to try to get this approved tonight, it's state bid that there's a big sale going on and it ends in October. So if I can get this approved tonight and on the next council, we're good. So,
Which one do you like?
like I said, originally the Bradbury, that was, but I'm okay with either one. I don't think either one's gonna be, they're both 2 to 5 and 5 to 12. That one's going to.
Can you
be
break
about
down the exact cost on
25.
each one? I mean, there's a bunch of figures in there, and I don't know if we're gonna get everything that they mentioned, and I know the installation was gonna take it off, and the
What's what?
initial price was 50% off, but can you take us through those first two and tell us exactly what the price will be?
Okay, so the Bradbury, 34,800 minus 8,200, so it's gonna be what, 26,600?
26, 647.
26,600.
And then the Wildberry, 37, gonna be 25,200, so $1,000 difference between the. Each of them include like a free hand sanitizer. It's got, I'm gonna go the engineered wood fiber with this one instead of sand. And eventually, my plan would be to get them all changed over. But this will include the ADA, an actual ADA ramp, timber. So like, we'll probably come off the trail with the trail leading up to it. So this one will be totally ADA. The ones at Whitaker, the toys themselves are ADA, but they're not compliant going to the toy. So eventually, I'd like to change out all the feel and do stuff. But this one will totally be ADA compliant.
I like the Bradbury, quite honestly.
That would, sitting here looking at it, that would be my only thing against the Wild River, whatever, would be the awning part of it. They have a hard. Each got the little rock climbing wall, the slides, little tunnel.
Do you know where they're coming from?
The company's from Choctaw. Now, I'm not sure where this other address up here is Tennessee, so I'm not really sure
But something was in Alabama, wasn't it?
where the actual,
Oh, Fort Payne, Alabama was the fulfillment center.
I didn't print it off or have it with me. Whatever goes to council, I probably will, the actual state contract. And we have bought from these people before. The big toy at Whitaker across from the pool came from this company.
The sign, go ahead.
No, all I was gonna say was, so you need us to make a decision, pick one of those toys tonight. So we can move forward, okay?
What is the layout size of this, Bradbury, is it pretty good size?
I think it, space required, which that's probably the outsider, 43 by 27.
Pretty good size then.
Capacity 40 to 50 kids.
Pretty good size toy then.
It's quite a bit bigger than.
That's a pretty good size toy.
So a lot of time when you buy these, a lot of times it's not just the toy that gets you. It's time you buy the timbers, the mulch, the freight. You add about another 10,000 on the time you do all that. They said what they'll do is they'll bring me the mulch, and they said most of the time they try to hold it instead of bringing everything all at once until, like, say we've installed and we're about ready. That way we won't have a big pile out there for kids to play in or get stolen. She said they'll have it dumped like right before we're ready for it.
Good idea.
And then if you want, that's up to you all too, but like in the front of it, and it shows all the different color choices. If you all wanna go ahead and pick colors out, that's up to you all too. That takes the pressure off of me. I will tell you right now to stay away from red and yellow as much as possible.
The predominant colors they show it, which really shows up.
Red, if you notice the part, I have no red, and you think that'd be my favorite color. Red fades. I don't care if it's painted, powder coated, what, red and the yellow paint, you'll fade.
What about the orange? What would you think? Does it look like a...
Orange and black?
Yeah.
Let's do.
I love orange.
Yeah.
Frank,
Kinda
I'm gonna
partial
pass
myself with that.
Does orange fade too?
Yeah, it fades the worst.
Really?
As it fades, it turns to red.
Frank's about to pass out, heard that.
But no, red, there's something about the red. It don't matter the pigment in it, it fades. Blue, no problems with blue, the green. And that last big toy, it went purple on it, it's held up. Yellow, you could probably get by with just depending on what you get it on, like what part of like on that Bradbury, how you got the yellow hard deals on top, I'd probably stay away from the yellow on that.
So are we picking the Bradbury? Is that what we want?
Sure.
Is everybody? What was it? What did
We
you?
liked 2 and 1 in that order, but,
2 and 1?
2 and 1.
The
but-
Wild River.
Yeah,
That was whenever Frank brought it to me. That was the first two I picked. Was
yeah,
1, 2. I just liked the first one because it was, I don't know, just
pretty,
Because the colors made you think it
it's
was.
exactly. We was gonna get red and yellow.
no, the colors are nice. But we
I
think
don't have that that color page. Did you have, is that in these books we have?
Mine's the
No.
masters.
Oh,
His
is
is
it
special.
like this though?
Oh, that's the actual catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically about the same. It tells you, like on the pipes, the posts, you know, different colors, you know, everything.
Well, if we're trying to stay away from red and yellow.
Well, I'm not saying just don't get red, I'm just saying don't get a whole lot of it, cause it will, it's faded on everything else we've had it on.
Frank, just to know where we're at, so who has an opinion? Who cares which, has a preference, one or two? I don't have a preference.
We, you know, that.
Anybody
last-
else, do you have a preference? Bill doesn't? Anybody? Three of us? So
One or
there's
two.
three of you have a preference, and Frank? So, I don't know if you got a preference?
No. You mean on the toy or?
Yeah,
color?
on the toy.
I like one or two, I'm probably more partial to one, the Bradford.
You're a one? You're a one?
I'm a little more partial to two, but I can go one.
One.
One's okay.
Are we good with, we got 3 to 1.
4 to 1.
The ones have it,
I like the color of the two. I like the Bradbury, but I
Well,
like.
so
the
we
color.
know, let's know which toy we're gonna get now, though.
I mean, it's
We're
not,
getting one.
each if.
I do like the
have to
color
pick
better
the
on that
color
other one.
out.
A lot.
I won't-
If it was my neighborhood and my backyard, I wouldn't want a big red and yellow toy in my
No,
backyard.
I do like that green and beige.
There's so many houses backing up to that.
I think we just gotta,
That last toy putting it apart, you know, it's like green, like
Yeah.
natural color, but you know, it's not like that matters yet. You don't have
Yeah,
to pick.
that doesn't matter. You can pick a color. Yeah.
I'm too big for,
favorite either.
I'm too big for any of them, so. it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
they don't fit.
So Bradbury it is then.
Do we
Kids are
wanna
way
make a
too
motion?
fast this.
Okay, so.
Need to make a
can we
motion.
Incorporate, does it have, since that's not on this.
Is this the number one? Is that what you're looking at? All right.
add-
It look good,
Different
Bill.
colors.
We'll take a picture with you going down the slide.
If we choose to get this and we add it with the toy, I'm gonna save a little bit.
The
Yes,
selfie.
freight on this separate, but if we approve that and this tonight and I get them together, there'll be a couple $100 probably.
Can we get 2 of those selfies? Put one in the main park and one at Bobby Buck?
How much for this one? 32, okay. It's
Well,
what,
you do know that
26?
the other one was a little cheaper, the river one.
Not by
Well, I'll
much.
switch to
Almost
everyone if we get 2 of
$2,000.
those.
Oh, really?
We get
Yeah.
2 selfies.
I think we do one and just try it, just see if it gets
That's fine.
started up or not.
Yeah, it's about, yeah, about 1,600. About 1,600.
1,600 to go with the second one and get 2 selfies?
That's, yeah, well, that's the
that the- is
difference.
that the
of
offer?
Toys. That's
Is that the offer?
Well, what I was gonna do is the extra little bit would go towards the shelter. You know, 'cause I've already bought some of that steel from a year or 2 ago. All I'd have to really do is pay for the pad and the sheet metal.
what does our agenda item say?
Bobby Buck toy, didn't it?
Bobby Buck toy,
I guess we're gonna have
Purchase a
one.
toy for Bobby Buck. I don't know if we could handle it under unforeseeable business to do the other or not.
But if we done them together, she said we would save money because of freight, but,
Is it considered
I
a
didn't
toy
get
for
this.
Bobby Buck?
quote, huh?
Is that considered the toy for Bobby Buck too, a part of it? Or
We
is-
can, I mean, we got,
Well, so they're both going to Bobby Buck.
Should've just said purchase of toys. Bobby Buck.
well, I didn't really know on this one until the quote didn't come in until late Friday.
Be unforeseeable then, I would think.
I would think that we could do that. I would think that we could discuss the purchase of that one with it as unforeseeable business.
Okay.
Since you
The non-
got it.
Then let's make a motion to buy or make a motion to buy the Bradbury.
I second.
Bradbury one?
Option
Bradbury one.
option one.
And unforeseen, we do the selfie Swizzler.
Do we need to put a color on that?
No,
We can do that, that can be separate.
or y'all can be thinking about it and I'll call you up after council.
There you go.
I would like to leave the area open with the bathrooms though, if you,
Okay, yeah,
not
we
to
got
put a
time to
shelter there
talk
yet.
about
I know,
this.
but
I was
just
gonna-
saying.
I was gonna put this kind of about the center where the the baseball court used to be. So it'd be kind of off-center a little bit, and that way you'd have over here either restrooms or, well, either way, yeah, I'm not gonna put it there. We might want the shelter over in this, over
Let's
here
try to
now.
stay away
but,
from red and yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are good colors.
Frank, let me just ask you a question. On the Wild River one, I know we have some concerns about that umbrella or whatever. If we were gonna go that route, could we just say we don't want the umbrella? Or does it just come with all of that?
as far as I know, that's the way that one,
Kinda got a little bit of shade on all of them, because the other one, the Bradbury, the way it's built, has a little top over
Little
the-
top?
each piece, just to provide a little shade.
once you change something, I'm sure
We've already
it's gonna
voted on
change the
Bradbury,
product.
well, I guess we
We
haven't
have a
voted
motion.
yet.
We have a motion and a second.
Cause if we go ahead and do the other one later under the unforeseen, then she can issue me a whole new price with it all together by the time I go to council.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, correct?
Yes, to purchase the Bradbury.
Right.
Do we want a roll call vote, or how do we?
Well, we'll have to open number 7 first.
Well, we're still doing, oh, well, I thought we did number
Yeah, we
seven.
did, we are on number 7.
Yeah,
I thought we were already on number 7.
We are.
well, right now we were we're talking about the Bobby Buck toy. We have, in Frank's report, we'll have to go down and open number 7 to bid, or to vote.
Okay,
So we can bypass 6 right now and go to number 7. Item number 7 is discuss possible recommend council action regarding purchase of a toy for Bobby Buck Park. Now,
Making the motion here.
make a motion.
I'll make a motion for the
that we buy-
Bradbury, that we buy the Bradbury.
Okay,
And
and
I-
you
and I
buy
second-
Bradbury number 1.
Bradbury number 1.
Okay, motion's been made
And I second it.
and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Kenny Geeser,
Yes.
Marks,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Seaver,
yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Shelby.
Yes.
Thank you, Frank. Item number 6, golf course report, Dennis.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
I don't have too much to report. I'll make this quick so we can get to the other stuff, but, the golf course, of course, the golf course business is really up. July, August, and September, numbers have been great. We'll probably end up revenue over last year, at the end of September, we'll be up about 55,000. So that's pretty good in 3 months. That's averaging 8,000 more a month, so, that's really good. We just finished our Ray corporate tournament. Everything went great there. It's fun to do those. I think we did everything really safe. Everything went really well. That's a bunch of people to move in and out at one time, but it all went good. The assistant superintendent and equipment manager job will be posted on October 5th, and it'll run for 2 weeks, and I'll do interviews and bring back next month my recommendations. We've been demoing fairway mowers, greens aerifiers, and fairway aerifiers, because that's in our equipment, in the budget to buy equipment, and so we've been demoing those types of equipment, and it's amazing some of the technology changes. We'll probably end up with just for example, a greens aerifier that will do the work in close to a third of the time that we spend now. So it's very fast, yeah. So it's fast and efficient. Life spans on some of that equipment are up to 20 years. So it's gonna last a long time once we do purchase it. In the next week or two, they're working on setting a date. They're gonna be widening the bridges out at the golf course that run on east and west right by the golf course, Mays County, and so we're having a kind of a meeting with the Corps of Engineers, myself, Mays County, anybody wants to attend, about the widening of the process and how it's all gonna go down. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Glad to hear that
Thank you.
you did well.
Are the greens getting better?
Oh yeah, they're rapidly improving. We just aerified some of them. Not even it's been a little over. Some 1.9 has just been 2 weeks, but they've almost completely recovered. So
They were great
people
today.
are really bragging on how they're looking and putting. So, yep. Anything else?
Quick question. In your professional opinion, what you're seeing and talking with others, are we seeing a change in golf in the way, the participation level? Or is this an anomaly, or what are people thinking, given
Well,
we've been on this decline for some?
It's an outdoor sport, and it's a very safe sport with the COVID. We're seeing a lot of families, a lot of young couples come out that we haven't had that kind of participation in a long time. So it's booming all over the nation. It's not just our area, it's not just Oklahoma, it's all over the nation. Everybody's up anywhere from 15 to 30% at least. So it's the golf boom. You know, we gotta take advantage of it, and our goal is to try to capture all these younger people that's coming out, these families, and make them golfers from now on, as many of them as we can, so that it's not, you know, we hope it's not just a fad, a one-year deal, and boom, back to the same old normal next year. But you know, golf is a fun sport. I think we're getting a lot of new people out, and they're enjoying it. It's something the whole family can do. Outdoors, there's not too many things you can go do unless you're indoors, so you have to go outdoors. So I think it's gonna be a good thing to come.
So what I'm hearing you say is we're getting the opportunity to expose them to golf. Hopefully, they'll like it.
Right.
Yet to be seen if
Correct.
it's gonna be sustainable, we don't know yet, but at
No.
least we're getting the opportunity to.
Right.
Do you have a feel, like on the silver memberships, how many of those might be going toward the platinum? Because that will run out, I think, in March.
Right, that will run out in March. I don't have a feel for that yet. I know the ones that play a lot of, you know, they play all the time using that silver membership, renting the carts. There's a pretty good little group of them that will buy. We've already sold, we converted 2 silvers to platinums with cart stalls. So we've got 2 of them, you know, so that's a big
That's awesome.
difference right there. So hopefully that trend will continue. But boy, it's hard to predict right now. But I think it's gonna be pretty good because, again, golf is really popular. And they're not gonna wanna pay a green fee if you're gonna play very much golf at all. That membership is a good way to go. Anything else?
Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
Item number 8, discuss possible recommend council action regarding hiring Margaret Jenny for staff supports position for the Pryor Creek Parks Department at Range A, Step 1, annual wage of $27,395, effective October 7, 2020.
So last year, when the mayor, he put them under us, the park, And she's been there, what, a year? Probably doing temp. There's one other full-time, they clean City Hall, MUB, library. I think, and, anyway, we budgeted for it. She's been dependable and reliable and had been there for about a year through temporary, so.
What does this person do?
There's two of them, Cindy Black's the other one, she's already on full-time, but, they clean City Hall, MUB, library. And, there's been times they actually helped me at the park, like if they got caught up, or back when the COVID and everything was kinda shut down. But yeah, they report to me and everything just like park and cemetery.
Can you put them on a mower?
I guess I could. For one. Actually, the one time they did go to help, they was painting in the bathrooms. The one time that she fell and had to have surgery. So. But anyway, we said the mayor's, we put it in the budget and everything.
So is that under your area of responsibility now as far as cleaning and things like that? You have responsibility for that within the city?
Okay, when they need off and have questions, they come to me, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this I go back through Eva. You know, but their salaries and as for employees, they're under the park department. But like, sometimes depending on what the issue is, I get with Eva, cause, you know, they know more about what all's going on up here for cleaning.
Okay,
They
so
are.
it's not necessarily something that you supervise their work?
Well, I mean, if they got a question, they do
Okay.
call me, yeah. And I'll either answer it or I'll refer them to Eva.
That basically you are their supervisor?
Yeah,
Okay.
like time off, everything, they have to go through me.
Scheduling, okay.
I'd entertain a motion.
Make motion.
Motion's been made. There's a second?
Second,
Second, discussion. Hearing none, we'll, go with voice call, or with a
Roll call.
roll call vote, please.
Marks,
Yes.
Richard,
yes.
King,
Yes.
Seaver,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Shelby,
Yes.
Kenny Geeser.
Yes. Item number 9, discuss, possibly recommend council action regarding the addition of wording on golf course membership application. Quote, "For platinum members only, I understand that I will be allowed to bring a Yeti or similar type cup on the premises empty. Said cup will be shown to the pro shop personnel at the time of check-in. Any violations of this rule will result in loss of membership with no refund. This privilege is subject to change at the discretion of the A&B Golf Shop." I entertain a motion.
So I'm assuming this has been our long discussion battle with,
Trying to,
about the Yeti cups. My only question would be, is it only platinum and that's the only group that's gonna be allowed to do it, or?
I was gonna ask if we could jump on to number 11. Blake has some commitments he needs to go to.
Oh,
That
okay.
could be a longer discussion.
Okay, well, let's table this for right now, and we'll go down to
number 11.
11.
item number 10.
11.
11.
11, discuss possibly recommend council action to accept the best quote on the 50 golf cars with trade-ins of 50 2014 Easy Go golf carts. I got the bids here to open.
You have a pocket knife?
Get my fancy opener out.
so you know that, obviously Blake is here. He does have a cart downstairs. So, if you wanna look at it, you're welcome to go down there and look at it like we did last time we did carts. Unfortunately, E-Z-Go was never able to bring me a cart to demonstrate. He didn't have any. So,
Okay,
he won't
this-
have any either, so.
the E-Z-Go bid is $230,000, trade-in $115,000 for a net total after trade-in of $115,000.
That was whose?
E-Z-Go.
That's E-Z-Go's.
Okay, what was the trade-in again?
115.
$115,000.
115.
Yamaha's bid is after trade-in, $114,500. That's 50 carts and 50 trade-ins. The trade-ins are $24.50. For $122.50, $500 total, making the trade-in, or total after trade-in, $114,500.
Okay, give us just the bid first, please.
The what?
Just the bid.
The total.
Yeah, total difference is,
No, I don't want the difference.
I think it's two, right here. You want this number right here, Bill. What is it?
$237,000 for the gas, for the Yamaha carts, $230,000 for the
E-Z-Go. I got that.
E-Z-Go carts.
All right.
The trade-in on the E-Z-Go carts is $2,300 apiece. The trade-in on the, from Yamaha is $2,450 apiece.
They
For a
don't-
total of
Yeah, total.
$122,500 versus $115,000.
Okay. We're talking a difference of $500.
The difference is in the trade-in,
Yeah.
main difference
Yeah,
is,
the main difference.
main difference is in the
Yamaha
trade-in.
was a more expensive cart, but Blake was able to get more for our trades.
Uh, The E-Z-Go carts have a leaf suspension with hydraulic shocks front and back. The Yamahas have a full independent automotive style strut suspension, front and back. So they've got independent suspension versus the leafs.
The engine is a major difference too.
The engine type,
Yeah, or size, 150cc versus
357 C.
357. Yeah,
And the Yamaha is 357,
correct. It's a lot bigger.
a lot
engine.
bigger.
Yeah.
I don't,
Now, I know Yamaha kind of described their carts as quiet gas golf carts. Is that also E-Z-Go's? Are they saying theirs is
he
a
didn't,
quiet gas?
he did not provide a decimal level on theirs,
Mhm.
so I don't, see a decimal level on the, how quiet that cart is. I don't know if you know your competition or, but,
It's about 65 decibels and ours is 60 and a half.
there you go. So,
So is that a big difference or not really?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty significant
Is it? Okay.
I mean, you're talking.
when you're on a flat golf course.
Yeah.
Bill, what's the warranty terms?
You said warranty?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty sure.
Major suspension for easy-go components is 4 years, major electronics is 4 years. 2 years on gas battery, ours, yeah. 4 years on the pedal group, 4 years on canopy system, 3 years on the seat, 4 years on the powertrain, 3 on the powertrain, 3 years on the body group, 3 years on other electrical components, solenoid, limit switches, starter, generator. 2 years on all options and accessories, 2 years on all other components. Initial adjustment is 90 days. For initial alignment adjustments, fastener retightening is 90 days.
So that means powertrain, you're talking about engine, whatever type of transmission it's got on it.
Yeah, the gasoline engine is 4 years.
And that was, what you quoted, that was easy go.
Yeah, that was easy.
That was easy go. Okay, how does that compare then with Yamaha warranties?
It's listed in there.
Well, that's just, this is electric, for electric cars. If I'm reading that right.
Gas engine's 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah, it's right below that.
okay.
Everything's 4 years, throttle, cables, and controls are 3 years, their battery is 1 year, all remaining parts is 1 year. It's all 4 years, so. Look, compare the warranty side by side, they look very, very similar.
Yeah.
We don't have those items in our packet.
Oh, well, they just opened the bids tonight.
Yeah.
The one thing I know is, we've had the Yamaha maintenance carts, we've had them for, what was those?
5 months.
6, no, the old ones. 2014s, yeah, we got them in 2014, so we've had them 6 years, we've had our new ones for a few months, 3 or 4 months now.
Tell you, the golf course, I've been to a dozen golf courses this summer, public courses, and 90-some% of them are running Yamaha now versus anything else. Just a point of interest.
When you look at the other municipal golf courses, because I've checked around, I've really done my homework. I know Blake can tell you, he's the rep. Owasso Municipal Golf Course, they have, what, 90 or 70 of them? 68 quiet techs. Page Belcher, 140. Mohawk, 70, 92. So all the municipal golf courses around have the Yamaha quiet tech. There's nobody. I did talk to Luke. He said if we wanted to look at one of his carts, we have to go to Arkansas. There's a golf course over there that has a few of them, or somewhere way out in western Oklahoma. So, I don't know why and I do know why, you know, the Yamaha has a, independent rear end suspension. The ride is night and day difference. I don't know if you know anything about independent rear end suspension. You go over a bump, it's a smooth ride. You go over it with a solid axle, it's a bump. Like I said, we've always had good success with Yamaha. All the research, I could sit up here and talk for 30 minutes, Blake probably talked for 30 minutes. Everything I know and done, I believe the Yamaha is the best golf cart for the city. That's, I may not be here next year, city will still have good golf carts, right? If I'm here, that's good, but,
And we'll hold you to it.
yeah.
We'll hold you to it.
They will be, I think it's the best.
There's one out in the
Best deal.
parking lot if we wanna go look at it.
Yep.
Or ride it, or do whatever.
Drive it, test it out, whatever you wanna do. Yeah, you can hear it. Yep.
Oh, yeah, you
I'll-
hear it.
Can I go down, Julie?
Sure.
But Pat, before you do,
Yeah.
because I feel compelled to say this, and I recognize this. You know, we've got a scenario here where, the relationship, and let's just be candid, just so everybody knows, we don't wanna surprise anybody.
No, absolutely.
That, and Dennis has been very open about it, and we all know Blake. A couple of things that, if I was just looking at this independently and saying, not knowing anything, we've got easy-go carts now, and I'm just saying this, just data point. We've got easy-go carts now, and we've had them for 7 years. And we've got a good, useful life out of them. I think we'd all agree they've lasted longer than we thought. Two is, in my past experience of seeing what somebody was gonna give us for the old carts, I am quite surprised to see that E-Z-Go is giving us less money for the old carts, given that those are their carts, than another vendor is giving us for those carts, because typically vendors have a competitive advantage when they've got their own equipment that they're trying to resell and they can upkeep and maintain. It just, that logically doesn't jive with what I would naturally think. That if I was having a vendor buy back their own equipment, I'm gonna get a better return than somebody else buying it back. On the warranty stuff, I think what I actually heard was there was a little bit of difference in the number of years. I think primarily E-Z-Go sounded like their base on their battery, I remember one was 2 years versus
2 years
one.
versus one on the back.
And a lot of their other components were 2 years versus one. Now, I may not have heard that, because we were,
Yeah.
right,
Battery's the only one that I know of that was different, but
okay. That, but I thought I heard there was a lot of 2-year stuff there. We'd have to look at it.
yeah, I don't think so.
Having said all that, it's no secret where the preference is.
Right.
And I think we have to look at this though, and I think as a board, there's a way around this in the future. And that is, Yamaha, Blake's the local rep, but Yamaha could have brought us this offer under another rep, you know, so we didn't get into a situation where, it's just, like I said, it's just extremely awkward.
The mayor checked into the legalities,
Okay,
so, I can read.
well, that's good information, I didn't know that.
He sent me the statutes on it,
Okay.
and he said, so I'd be glad to read those if y'all want me to.
Well, just tell me in a nutshell, it's nepotism laws, it's about what are the rules on nepotism?
Yeah, what about that, what, of it being
But there is,
nepotism?
We're just trying to make sure that
I'll get back down here.
Well, I know that, but I said we went on this once before.
And are these city rules or are these state rules?
State,
Okay.
believe, all right, so. He also sent them to one of the council members from Oklahoma Statutes, Title 11, Section 8-113, subsection A, comma, C, and D, give a description that relieves conflict of interest issue. And then he sent me the whole statute there. And so I could be glad to forward that to somebody, or I could read it.
How did you interpret it? Was,
There is no conflict of issue. As long as the city gets the bids from both companies, there's no conflict of issue.
okay.
This is the same thing we went through last spring when we bought the utility vehicles. You had the same argument then.
Right.
Yeah,
And Blake could have sent somebody else. He's their district rep for three-state area here. He could have sent somebody else in. It wouldn't make any difference as far as we're still gonna buy from Yamaha. The numbers aren't gonna change any. So, I mean, it is what it is. Blake's the rep. If I was one of y'all, I would love to have my hometown person, selling the stuff to us versus somebody that lives miles and miles away.
If I had a problem, I'd wanna know who I'd talk to and have him
How long
close.
Blake will live here, but, I try to buy it local from every business I can before I go to Tulsa or Claremore or anywhere else. I try to support local. That's just my personal belief. I buy my vehicles here, I buy other stuff here, but that's just me personally. One thing about it, if I leave, I feel confident that Blake will continue to serve the city of Pryor very good, I know how he's raised. So, and I will hold him to that. But I don't think there will ever be an issue there, so.
Being as Blake brought one for all of us to see, you wanna go down and look at them?
I will.
Everybody? We can take a minute, we can go down and look at it. We did that before. Let's do that now, and then Blake can go do his thing, and we can Right,
All right.
item number 10.
Oh,
We're on
Do we
11.
need
We've
to do-
opened
do
the
we need to do
bids,
something
we've
on
looked at things,
Yeah,
we
wait,
entertain a motion. Item 10 says discuss possible recommend council action to accept the best
Bill.
quote from local, oh no,
We're on
11, I'm
11.
We're on
sorry,
11.
11. Discuss possible recommend council action to accept best quote for 50 golf cars with trade-in of 50 2014 Easy Go golf cars. I'd entertain a motion for that.
There's a, well, it looks like the Yamaha is a nice golf cart. I see no reasons why we don't accept the bid from Yamaha. Move forward with it to council to,
You'd make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Make the motion that we go with the Yamaha golf course. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
And then seconded, discussion. Hearing none, we'll have a roll call, please.
Richard,
yes,
King,
Yes.
Seaver,
Abstain.
Graves,
No,
Shelby,
Yes.
Cannageeser,
Yes.
Marks.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go back to item number 9. Discuss possibly recommend council action regarding the addition of wording in the golf course membership application, quote, for platinum members only. I understand that I will be allowed to bring a Yeti or similar type cup on premises empty. Said cup will be shown to the pro shop personnel at the time of check-in. Any violation of this rule will result in loss of membership with no refund. This privilege is subject to change at the discretion of the A&B Golf Shop.
well, I just wanna say I'm glad that we're at least moving in a direction that, you know, we can maybe resolve this issue or whatever, so I'm glad to see that. I wanna make sure that we're all clear what we mean by platinum members. So Dennis, make sure we understand platinum members.
Yeah. Platinum members are the,
I'm asking Dennis, so I want him
Okay.
to define that.
You know, the platinum member is our standard membership, but with the highest rate on it. It's not the silver members, not the everyday public, it's our platinum members.
Right.
They're the people that we feel like we can trust. Obviously, we wanna be able to trust them, but I was told that if we make this rule strong enough that they will not even chance on, you know, bringing some liquor or whatever in their cup, that, it needs to be strong enough that they understand the consequences that they will face, right? So somebody brings in a fifth of Jack Daniel in their cup, we find out they do, then the membership's done. We have to be able to have consequences from the board on this, if we're gonna allow this. Don and I want to make everybody happy, but if there's no consequences for somebody, they just keep doing it, we, you know, keep telling them no, that's not any good there either. So, that way, they, 99.9% of them, they can bring their cup, be happy all day long, we're happy, we're not our license is not in jeopardy, everybody's happy. So that's why we've worded it the way we have, and what we need is, if we allow this, it's just, we need the backing to know that there is consequences for violations.
What is the price difference between a gold and a platinum? Or silver?
The silver memberships, you know, we sold them at a one-time deal at basically $47.99 a year for 3 years. And then, but we don't sell those anymore. A regular membership starts, seniors start at, 5,
550,
08.
yeah, 550, 560,
Yeah,
someplace
and
in there.
then go on up.
So basically, really, platinum though is someone that buys a membership, an annual thing,
Right, it's an annual
an
membership.
annual membership.
Right, it's our,
It's really about the only membership there is
the only
now.
membership we have now, and as long as we,
Is that going to encompass 90% of the people that,
by memberships.
but,
That encompasses everybody except for a silver member. And those all expire in March.
that's the one we did a special for?
Yeah.
Right. So that's everybody but those that expire in March.
What about somebody that plays with a platinum member?
Somebody that plays with them? Yeah, no, because we don't know who that is, and that's what I'm saying. There is no consequences for that person. That's what that's the point. The platinum member is,
Well, I just mean if a platinum member brought somebody with them to play,
yeah,
they can't have the cup.
Platinum member
Right.
better tell him
yeah,
No cup.
to obey the rules.
right.
Don't get me in trouble.
So have you reached out to the members and just,
Oh, yeah,
and then are they good if this goes forward? Are they gonna be good with the wording and?
yeah, the ones I've talked to are, so they have no problem with that, because they understand, and, they're not worried about that, because
They
the
don't-
ones I have talked to anyway, aren't worried
I
about it.
mean, that solves the issue that's been up here in front of us for the last
I talked to Jack
6
today.
months.
I told Jack what it was today, he didn't have any problem with it.
Good.
Jack
Good.
Ryan? Jack
Yeah.
Ryan. Good.
That way.
I
it's
told
a
Jack
win-win
this
for
afternoon
everybody.
what it was.
Our whole thing is there was no consequences.
No teeth in it.
We were just, if we allow them, we can tell them no, and that's not any good, because there's no consequences. You have to have consequences for your actions.
I mean,
Dennis, I'll tell you what, I applaud you. I think you've come up with a solution.
I didn't think there was one.
Yeah, I was skeptical, but I think you've come up with something here that meets all the criteria.
Correct.
And
I agree.
I applaud you for it, and two is I hope that we as a board, even though we may not all disagree about everything, but once we vote on it, we've got to stand behind you and support the pro shop, because you guys are, part of the operation, and we can't have people trying to divide the board with the pro shop and getting this. So that's the reason I think it was very important last week, that you got a vote of confidence on this from the board saying, no, we're not gonna change the rules.
Right.
But you now have something that you can enforce, and it does have teeth, and nobody needs to be naive about it and think that, there are consequences.
Correct.
So to me, it's very fair, and you've come up with it, and I think alleviated a problem that we obviously had a hard time figuring out a good solution to. But this sounds like this is it.
We thought many, many hours about this, consulted a lot of people, and that we come up with this, and I think it's a very fair for everybody. But thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion that we send it to council then.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Discussion?
When will it take effect? Immediately? If council approves it, it'll go
After
immediately?
council approves it.
Yeah. Are we in discussion? Are we in discussion or?
Yeah, we're still in
I
discussion.
I don't understand how being a member, so if I go back to the last one, and forgive me because I wasn't here, then it reads that we're trying to rid ourselves of liability from the Able Commission coming on and finding that someone is bringing outside beverages. And so we go to this, you can bring your cup,
But you can't,
but you have to be a member to have a cup. But
Well,
that still doesn't relieve us of the liability.
well, the cup's gotta be empty.
Well, so I have to be a platinum member to show you an empty cup. What if I wanna be, what if I wanna be a member, or we're just playing golf? I cannot bring a cup because I'm not a member.
Right.
There's, no way for us, our members, they have their carts and stuff out there, they can just bring their stuff and hop right on and go. With the general public, there is no way for us to police that. Because one, if you show up, you know, one, we have to educate you on what even the rule is.
Right.
You know, the members are all educated with this document. So education is the hardest thing to do.
I think it's easy said, though, to say that membership has its perks.
Yep.
Membership
If
doesn't.
you're a member,
We're platinum.
Right,
you have certain privileges out there that you don't have if you're not a member.
because we can educate you,
When you buy a membership, it's in.
and there's no way to educate the everyday person that comes out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that.
And they're the ones that we technically have the most trouble with, is the everyday person.
Right. It's still not ridding you of any liability, though.
No,
This verbiage doesn't.
no, but it gives us actions.
Because we've had a lot of members
It's violated.
complain, they want to bring a cup.
If
Right.
a member violates it, that's a pretty big penalty.
Big deal.
Yeah,
Well, I would say, though, if you
Somebody
think,
would come in from out of town and just violate it, there's no penalty for them. See, so that's,
but all they're putting at risk is their green fee for that day if they're a non-member. If you're a member and this happens to you, you're risking
Your entire,
somewhere between $500 and $1,000 or more going up in smoke because you violated the rule. So does that drive behavior? I think, we probably think that it does. I mean, we could argue it as to, but I think that's the logic behind this that you guys put together that said, if I've got that much to lose, I'm gonna behave, but I've also demonstrated I have an interest in the course enough that I'm willing to put my money up and make that investment for an annual membership.
correct.
I think it's a good question, Casey, but it doesn't, it
still has a
really,
problem.
anybody could come in out there with a golf bag and bring something in.
Yeah.
We have
Still
never
are
been
going-
able to get around that.
And Able Commission says as long as we're doing everything possible and documenting cases as they come along, which we had some this weekend, but I document them, that long as we show proof that we're doing everything we can do possible, we put the signage up that they want. We document when we catch alcohol brought on the golf course. We try to educate our golfers. We do a very good job of educating them as they come through the door, but still they, you know, you can't stop it all. But we do our part, then our liability goes way down.
Being a reasonable person,
Correct.
yeah. And I agree. I just, to me, again, and I've been here such a short amount of time, but for platinum members only, you can have a Yeti cup. It just, I think the verbiage could be done where it doesn't read like, to me, it reads like a water park, and if you want an umbrella, it's an extra $5. And if you want a canopy, it's if you want to bring this, it's an extra $6. I think if you're a member, I don't know, it just seemed,
After the silver memberships go away, it could say that. It could say,
it could be
member.
that's the only member, you know.
Yeah, that would
Member,
be the
it's a
only
member, it's a
members.
benefit of being a member, not, to me as an outsider looking in, it's like, well, I'm bronze, not platinum, so I can't bring my cup.
Right.
That's the way I read it as a layman.
Our whole deal was, we have silver memberships, all go away in March, into March, they all go away, and that was the only way to separate the two, because there's over 1,000 of them.
Okay.
Again, and they all go away, so we couldn't
But,
defend.
okay, yeah, I don't, yeah, but you see where I'm coming, like, I didn't know, to me, it reads like there's a tiered system, and
Right.
you've gotta be a top tier just to bring a cup.
Right, there is a tiered system, it's only two, one of them's going away forever, maybe, yeah, I mean, it's
But
probably.
we've never had that second tier with the,
No.
till the last
3
3
years.
years.
3 years when we sold these low-cost memberships to try to incentivize people to come out. But normally, this would have just said members.
Right,
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes it a lot
Exactly.
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because if I was a layman, I would read this that goes, if I pay enough money, we'll forget about the liability of what was in my cup. I can bring my, like, we're not so much worried about the liability per se of what's in my cup after I go get in my golf bag if I'm a platinum member.
Right. And that would, I have no problem after those silver memberships go away, we can remove the word
If-
platinum and just be member.
If we go out on the golf, if you're a platinum member though, and they go out on the golf course and check your cup and it's full of scotch,
They better get a warrant.
it still,
No, we don't have
still
to.
applies. It still applies, you still lose your membership.
Once it comes on the golf course, we have that privilege.
Yeah, you would still lose your membership.
Okay.
If you're caught violating it, you're gonna lose your membership if it's at the front door or the side door. Yeah,
And we don't, our whole deal is, like you said, make the penalty so bad nobody will do it, problem solved.
Yeah, because when I first read that, I thought loss of membership, I thought it was a little harsh, but, I mean, I understand and I agree and all of that, but initially I thought, that seems a little harsh. That's a good, I guess, a good consequence there.
more discussion. Roll call, please.
King,
Yes.
Seaver,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Shelby,
Yes.
Kenny Geeser,
Yes.
Marks,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Where are we at?
10?
10.
Now we're on number 10. We're finally at number 10.
Number 10, let's go back to number 10. Discuss possibly recommend council action to accept the best quote from local bank to finance golf course for 4 years. Quotes are provided. They're here somewhere. I can figure out which bank.
I called 4 different banks. I thought I was gonna get at least 3 quotes. One bank said that they were not interested because they don't do lease. With the city, we do a lease purchase agreement. We don't do
So we've got
No.
Priority and RCB.
And Bank of Commerce did not ever send me back a quote. I sent him all the information that he wanted this morning. I never got a quote back from him. So apparently they couldn't do it either, or didn't run out of time or something. But, so those 2 banks, now previously, we have always done this through RCB Bank. That was who did it the last, 2 or 3, maybe, lease options that we did was through RCB Bank. So I think you have the documents in front of you there, and you're very close. The numbers that were on the financing there are high. You seen the bids today? It's gonna be 114,500, not whatever is on. I
124.
told them because I didn't have those bids yet, and that's the numbers that we were going off of. So it will be quite a bit less. You divide that 114.5, their interest rate, divide that by 4, and that's the number we'll get. I think it'll be somewhere around 29,000 a year instead of the 33 that's in our budget.
I
Now,
was thinking we paid.
I noticed that, if I'm reading this right, First Priority said 124,000.
Yeah, that's the numbers that I had before we opened bids. But that number will be 114,000. The interest rate is all that I think is relevant as far as I understand. Everything else will be 114,000, no matter which bank you go with. The interest rate, one of them is 1.95, one of them's 1.98.
That's just,
Yes.
that's just the 2. We just have RCB and First.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Bank
We're
of
gonna
Commerce
look at it.
did not submit one.
Right.
So I think that's pretty easy to, it's not much, but it saves us some
Saves
by
us
going
money.
with RCB.
That was very close, but borrowing money, I guess,
So
loaning money.
RCB's is
1.95.
130,000 total.
No, that's figured in at that 124. So that's gonna be lower. That's if we finance the 124.
We're not financing 124 now, it's 114.5.
Oh, okay,
The rate is what goes right there, the
Okay.
1.95%.
okay. So the totals maybe,
The other one was 1.98%.
they were 1.95 and priority was 1.90.
1.98, I believe.
I don't see any benefit for, there's nothing else to the terms that would,
Nope.
1.98, yeah. And RCB's 1.95.
So you save .03% by going with RCB
Because that's
over
the,
4 years,
$3,000? No, at $114,000.
probably 300,
$300.
but that goes a long ways when I'm buying stuff.
And it looks like on the conditions though, terms and conditions on RCB, that there is a monthly payment there. And, you've got an annual or a monthly option on first priority. But I would think that, I'm pretty sure we'll get, save ourselves money by paying it off monthly.
Correct. The monthly payment is less expensive because you're paying off that interest all through the year versus one lump sum.
And do we know if the city has no conditions the city's put on it as far as being able to pay it off on a monthly versus an annual basis?
No,
Okay.
none that I know of. It all falls within the yearly budget. Other than that amount is budgeted this year, but by the time we got golf carts, if you paid monthly for the first year, you would not pay, but maybe if we got golf carts in January, we may only pay 5 months or 6 months worth of payments instead of the whole year budgeted. So it might be the first year, you may want to pay monthly and then pay a lump sum at the end of 1 month. If that is allowed in
yes.
payment.
So you've got more budgeted than we could possibly spend monthly.
Correct.
And we would just want to make sure that we don't let that difference seep into other areas. We'd want to make sure that money,
Yeah.
we don't count that as other available
Keep it in
funds.
our 4-year plan.
Yeah.
Instead of,
I guess interest rates obviously have really gone down because in the past, I think we did it, on a yearly basis, and we were paying out about 40,000 in, like, the end of April. I think that's
Well-
usually when things came due or something.
yeah, we used to pay about 40,000, but that was because we didn't have as much equity that we have now. We borrowed more. Last time we borrowed, I want to say somewhere either 132 or 138,000.
I see.
We didn't have as much equity because we traded in electric carts. Now we're trading in gas carts, which we got a great more value, and I think that's the biggest thing that's kind of surprising is Yamaha got the highest dollar, and I do know, talking to Blake this afternoon, he went all the way to Dallas, and our carts are going all the way to Dallas because he opened up a big area for gas carts, and that's where he got the best value for the gas carts. Otherwise, if he'd have stayed with local, he would have had a lower trade-in. But that's why our payments used to be higher, is because we had less equity using electric carts.
I can tell you, the banks, they're only paying about 1/2 of 1% now for CDs, short-term CDs. So they're making 1.5 on it. So that's another contributing factor towards interest rates being this low.
Yeah, I think last time it was almost 4% when we borrowed. 3.98 or something like that when we borrowed last time.
I'm very surprised it's that low, quite honestly, from what
Yeah.
I've been seeing.
I think we probably got a Homer deal.
Yeah.
These are Homer banks, you know.
I would not disagree there. Well, I guess we need to make a motion to use RCB as that's the council, is that right?
I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we go to use RCB.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Further discussion? Roll call?
Seaver?
Yes. Who'd you
Seaver.
say?
Seaver.
Seaver. Turn on that hearing aid, Bill, would you?
Yeah, Yeah. Yes,
I'm sorry,
yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Shelby,
Yes.
Cannageeser,
Yes.
Marks,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes,
King.
Yes.
Thank you, folks.
I think, are we down to action items? We have none.
Right.
none?
Item 13, unforeseeable business.
No, we're gonna bring
Oh,
some,
Frank's back.
gonna bring that other thing
Make it quick, Frank.
forward.
So, no,
Got this thing called a selfie, Swizzler.
Yes.
that's your call.
I think we need one.
I do too.
So we need to word it to where
Do we need to say like,
purchase it with this toy.
Yeah.
let's say that again?
Just that you wanna purchase this selfie Swizzer with the, yeah, say
Add
that.
on.
God, I don't. What else did?
Add on to the Bradbury?
Yeah, add on with that Bradbury.
Add on to the Bradbury?
Yeah,
Added with the add-on to the
to
Brad.
the Bradbury,
And you've got money in the budget, you got money budgeted to do this,
right.
okay? And it's part of the long-range plan.
It's been long range for a long time.
We don't have a motion.
Long back then.
Will this be at Bobby Buck or will it be at Whitaker?
Bobby Buck.
Bobby.
Bobby Buck.
Okay.
We're just buying one, right?
Unless she throws in a second one cheaper.
Unless it's a buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Gotta ask.
That's right. Okay, so we just need, motions?
Yes.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we add on that selfie to all the verbiage with the, Bradbury toy for Bobby Buck.
Motion's been made,
Second.
seconded. Discussion.
So how much is this toy?
It was what, 22
22.
or 3, that was total, but the freight will probably go down
Yeah.
because we're, instead of having
Gonna get a
2
little
separate toys,
Freight's outrageous.
just when we added with the other one, she said it's probably not gonna matter a whole lot. But this way I go to council with just one purchase. She'll put the 2
Yeah.
together and maybe a little bit less freight.
I tell you, I'm uncomfortable with this, and I know tonight I have been out in left field on a couple of these. But I'm uncomfortable with this because it seems to, I kind of get a sense that we hadn't given this a lot of thought, and this is $22,000.
No.
2,200.
Oh, 2,200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little,
I'm sorry.
simple little.
We'll
I don't
still-
feel-
We wouldn't
we'll
mind a
still
gold
be in
one.
budget.
It's
We'll
gonna be
still
less than 22 because we'll save on shipping.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
The
Well,
big toy was
can I
26.
start, can I start over? I relinquish my time.
Further discussion. Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Graves,
Yes. Get me on the record. that's right.
Shelby,
Yes.
Cannageeser,
Yes.
Marks,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Seaver.
Yes.
Item number 14. I would
Make a
entertain a
motion.
motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
Seconded,
Sure.
seconded.
So which
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
My vote is for